So, my name is Jadhira Sanchez. I am 30 years old. We are in Chicago, Illinois, and I am interviewing Damarian Smith, who I know as I was an intern for YSVP through the StorySquad program.
My name is Damarian Smith. I am 18 years old. I come from the South Chicago community. Where I live is like a complex. Everyone in the complex, like it's like family. Like everybody is close with each other. It's a positive community.
How did you hear about the YMCA or YSVP as a whole?
Well, like I said, in my community, it's like everybody know each other, and it was people in my community who was already involved in the YSVP and YMCA program. So I really was introduced to it through friends, and just from going up to the YMCA playing basketball and getting introduced to the mentors and the staff. It was what I remember from it, because I did rap. The first thing we learned about was like conscious rap. That was something I was new to, something I never heard of before.
So, can you tell us a little bit more on what like conscious rap is? Because I personally don't know that much about it. So, what does that mean, or what does that entail?
Like to me, it's like rapping with when you doing music, like you making it mean something, like send a message. Like it's more than just rhyming.
So when you were in Story Squad, and I do remember this very clearly, when we were doing the showcase, you did your presentation, and the name of your piece was Failure. Can you tell us a little bit more about that piece?
I want to like be the one who actually like told my story, like and what was going on in my community and with my peers and yeah.
Do you remember like what was like one of the key quotes or the key message or one of the lyrics from Failure?
One of the most important lyrics in the song "Failure" to me was I said, "I'm a failure, yeah, I'm prone to fail. I've been told if I don't die, then I'm gonna go to jail, and I've been told that when I do that, I'm gonna go to hell." Like I feel like that was an important quote to say, because at first that's how I was explaining how people view us before I got to, you feel like telling really what's going on, like trying to really explain it from my point of view. I was just starting off with like how everybody else look at it, like people who not a part of it. You feel me?
When you say us, what do you mean by us? Because I'm a Latina, Mexican Latina from the Little Village community. But what do you mean when you say us?
Like the people in my community, like mainly like my peers, like young black people in my community who are all over the city, all over Chicago.
And I think that that's really important because you're absolutely right. You see these cases happening, and like I mentioned, social media and stuff like that, of situations happening with the African American communities, Latino communities, but we don't get to hear our story. Have you had any of the youth or the little kids in the community um, like come up to you and ask you about your piece Failure, or do people on social media ask you about the piece?
The youth in my community, every time they see me, they come to me, ask me about some music, when I'm releasing something new, or what made me write this or do that. Like one of the youth who I think performed today, he always come to me and ask me something about music or something, or come around me and just he rap his little music that he been working on. That made me feel like I'm influencing them to do good, do something positive.
We bring that up, and you have a smile from ear to ear when it comes up. So how does it feel to be a mentor, or for somebody to tell you, or for me to tell you you're a mentor?
I feel real good, because I ain't really have a lot of mentors before the YMCA. Like I feel like I get to, you feel me, like do something for certain people that wasn't done for me. You feel me? Made me feel a little better about myself.